The company that I work at, a lot of us use computers, so we're able to work at home during this whole coronavirus thing. And so we use Slack to talk, to work on things, but we also share memes and jokes and funny stuff like that. And as you can imagine, a lot of the memes recently have surrounded current events, coronavirus, people shopping and buying ridiculous amounts of toilet paper and things like that. It's gotten me thinking about people and how people react and how people behave in different situations. And something that I've been thinking about is how situations like this, crises, don't really make people behave a certain way. It really exaggerates the kind of behavior that they already have. Someone who's a kind person, when a situation like this arises, they're going to find opportunities to reach out to people and to help them. Someone who's selfish is going to do things, like go to the store and buy all the toilet paper when they know that other people will need those things. So I've just been thinking about how a crisis like this doesn't turn people into a good person who will help others, or a bad person who will, be selfish or do certain things, but it exaggerates who we really are. It reminds me of the story in the Bible of the thieves on the cross. I want to read to you from the story of redemption, which is written by Ellen White. The thieves who were crucified with Jesus suffered like physical torture with him, but one was only hardened and rendered desperate and defiant by his pain. He took up the mocking of the priests and railed upon Jesus, saying, "If you are the Christ, save yourself and us." The other malefactor was not a hardened criminal. When he heard the sneering words of his companion in crime, he rebuked him, saying, "Do you not even fear God, seeing you are under the same condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we receive the due reward of our deeds. But this man has done nothing wrong." Then, as his heart went out to Christ, heavenly illumination flooded his mind. In Jesus, bruised, mocked, and hanging upon the cross, he saw his Redeemer, his only hope, and appealed to him in humble faith, "Lord, remember me when you come into your kingdom." And Jesus said to him, "Assuredly I say to you today, you will be with me in paradise." You see, both of these men were criminals. They had both done something wrong. They both received the punishment for their crime, and it was just. The thief on the cross said so himself. And yet one chose to be hard-hearted. He was, mocking Jesus, and the other one was humble, and he reached out to Jesus in faith and asked for forgiveness. It's interesting to see how these men are in similar situations, but they choose to be different people in that same situation. I want to be the kind of person that when I'm in a difficult situation and those kinds of situations that exaggerate who you are, I want to be like the thief that asked for forgiveness, that asked for salvation. Ellen White doesn't only tell us what the thieves said on the cross, but she also talks about Jesus. She says, "With amazement the angels beheld the infinite love of Jesus, who, suffering the most excruciating agony of mind and body, thought only of others and encouraged the penitent soul to believe. While pouring out his life in death, he exercised a love for man stronger than death. Many who witnessed these scenes on Calvary were afterward established in them by the faith of Christ." When we're experiencing a crisis like we are right now, it's very easy for us to feel justified in being angry or being selfish or being unkind to others. We have to look out for ourselves. But when we look at Jesus, he wasn't that way at all. In the most difficult situation of his life, he still had a heart that longed for the salvation of others. He put others first, even in his death. We're going through this time of crisis. We should be thinking about, how can I help others? How can I make sure that other people have the things that they need? Make sure other people are taken care of. Instead of going to the store and seeing, oh, there's one last roll of toilet paper, and buying for myself, how can I do something for other people? It's uncomfortable. It's not fun to have to stay home and not to be able to go and visit friends or whatever. But it's difficult situations that bring out our true character, that show us who we really are. And when we think of Jesus in this story, we need to be more like him, thinking of others, putting others first. So I want to encourage you during this time to think about your life. Spend time with Christ. Ask him to give you a heart like his, a heart that loves others like he does. Because I know that is a prayer that he will answer.